Grace and Grit Collective. It's something that we have been missing in our own lives that we wanted to create and share with you. And we're going to go and tell you in this video kind of a little bit about what the Grace and Grit Collective is, who we are, and ask you to join our Grace and Grit reset that we're starting in just a couple days. We're really excited about it. So, yeah, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. So we just wanted to tell you who we are, what we have to offer, what we're all about, because Lara and I are very convinced that there are thousands and thousands of other women out there that are like us. And we're not this group of women that, are just fragile and need to be pampered all the time. We like to get our hands dirty. We like to do crazy things. Her and I are both jujitsu freaks, and we love to ride our horses and climb mountains and go hiking and dig in the dirt. And we're both homeschool mamas and super passionate about marriage and family and what it is to take care of your home and just chasing after that Proverbs 31 woman that when you are chasing after the heart of God, you so long to be. So welcome. We're excited. We have a lot of things in store that we just can't wait to get launched and throw your way.
Yeah, that was so beautiful too, by the way. Thank you. I'm like, you just explained 100% what grace and grit is. Like, right? Like, and we'll talk about that more in our next video, but really just like a quick synopsis is like grace really is like God is graceful to us. We need
Yeah,
to learn how to be graceful to ourselves.
yeah.
Graceful is like feminine. Graceful is wanting to be beautiful, wanting to love our husbands well, wanting to love our children well, wanting to seek after God's heart. But it's also we're gritty. I'm like, I want to learn how to bow hunt. I want to learn how
Yeah.
to grow my own food. You have horses and like a homestead basically and manage kids. I used to take my kids out rock hounding and mining and learning about geology and the world around us that God made. And we're not afraid to roll in jujitsu. And so we just want to encourage other women. Like we can't be the only women, as you said, out here that want to be feminine and want it like femininity is also embracing our strength that God made us, that God wired into us. And so we have a challenge that we want you to join us in. It's the Grace and Grit Collective Reset. And what perfect time we both have talked about how much we love the new year. It's a fresh start, it's a blank slate. And to me, it's a lot more than just setting some resolutions. It's like, let's do a reset. And so we've created for you a free reset that we're going to be hosting on the school platform. That's SKOOL, and we will link our school group to this YouTube video. But join us. It's free, completely free. The download's free. Join us at any time, but we encourage you, if you're hearing this in time, we're officially starting on January 4th.
January 8th. Is it 4th? January 4th.
I think so. The first Sunday in January, the same day. Let's see. That is the 5th, January. I'll
January
edit
5th.
that
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna write that down.
So get your free download. We are officially starting on January 5th, and we're going to kind of help you understand what our reset is about and why it's different and why we think it's amazing. And yeah, so Tiff, I'll let you start. We'll kind of just go through the numbers.
So first, I just wanted to say why we're creating this. There are 1,000 different challenges out there,
Mhm.
and Lara and I love to lift heavy weights and get out and move our bodies. And we're super passionate about nutrition. And if you're anything like us, we indulged this holiday season, and
Mm.
it's time to just reset. Like I am obsessed with New Year's because I love just the it's like a holiday where we get to actually recognize it is a not just a new day, not just a new week, not just a new month, but like a new year where we get to say, no, I get to have new goals and I get to reset and start over. And this is my clean slate. And I refuse to go in 2025 carrying any burdens from 2024, but I am going to carry my wins. I am going to carry my blessings and I am going to carry my successes into the next year because we're going to focus on that and we're going to build from that. So grace and grit is like the grace and grit reset is 10 steps. And I just want to tell you what those 10 steps are really quick. And then Laura and I will deep dive into explaining them. Anytime you have any questions about this, like reference this video. Just go back. We'll keep it pinned to our school so that if you have any questions, like what does this look like? How do I do this? We're going to deep dive into it in this. So always come back and just reference this. Um, Number one is to wake up early and make your bed. So if that means 30 minutes earlier than you normally would wake up, just to give yourself a chance to restart, make your bed, do it. Number two is spend time with Jesus. What that looks like for you. Spend time with Jesus, dive into his word. Number three is read 20 minutes of a nonfiction book. Number four, we have like fuel, eat to fuel your body, eat to fuel your body. Number five is drink a gallon of water a day. Number six is lift those heavy weights. You guys, lift those heavy weights. Number six is, hold on, get your steps in. You got some editing to do. Get your steps in. Aim for 10,000 plus steps every day. And number seven, we have declutter an area of your house for 5 minutes. Number eight, we're going to do a daily home reset. And that's super easy, but we're also going to dive into like how to just get control over our homes at the same time. And number 10 is, what's number 10? I'm
Get
looking at my wrong
outside.
list. Huh?
Was it get outside? Fresh air.
Number 10 is get outside for 20 minutes a day. So I'll just start with number one, and they're not even numbered. It doesn't matter which area, how you do it, which order you do it. And obviously get up early and make your bed is number one. What you do after that is totally up to you and how it works for your day. So those are your steps. They're pretty, it seems like a lot. It seems overwhelming, but I've done 75 hard quite a few times. I've almost finished the Live Hard program. I stopped at number three before I finished it all the way, before I've done the Jocko Willink's, his reset. I've done a lot of different challenges. I'm a challenge person. I have like undiagnosed ADHD. I am a complete like neurodivergent thinker. And so when I have goals, when I have direct things that I have to get done every day, it keeps me focused and on track. The hard part is I'm a homeschool mama. I work from home full time. We're a super passionate jiu-jitsu family. I have my little mini farm. I'm taking care of the house. And 75 Hard has all the things in it for an incredible mental toughness program, but it doesn't have all the things in it to make me honestly a successful mom. So anytime I do 75 Hard, I'm kicking butt and taking names, but my home and my family is kind of suffering, if I'm going to be completely honest. So we wanted to make something like, what is it out there that we can do where it's going to check off the boxes to make us to be that person that when God created us, he was like, this is what I have in store for you. Like, this is the person that I was dreaming of when I created you in your mama's tummy. And that is who Laura and I long to be. It's just that person that we were really created to be. And what does that look like to chase after that? So these are some steps we put together that we feel like every day will help us become closer to that Proverbs 31 woman, closer to that person that God created us to be, so that we don't have things holding us back in our life.
I love that.
So number one, get up early and make your bed. We get up 30 minutes earlier than you normally would. Give yourself an opportunity to start on your home reset, to spend time with Jesus. I'm a morning person. I need to spend my mornings with Jesus. And the reason why, if you have to do it in the evening, if you prefer it to do it on your lunch break, it doesn't matter. Just do it. But I
Mhm.
think there's huge benefits to starting our day with Jesus. And that is crap's gonna happen throughout our day. Like case
Mhm.
in point, crap's gonna happen throughout our day, especially if you have kids, especially if you're in a committed relationship, especially if you work, have a home, have a dog. Like crap is going to happen, it's a guarantee. So we start our day with Jesus, and he just helps center our hearts and our minds. And we can go back to his word when we start spiraling throughout the day. It's like God, what did your word say today? Oh, that's right. I need to just cling to your peace. Oh my gosh, that's right. Like you said that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and I'm not just a screw up. Okay, Lord, help me get my eyes off myself and back on you. Because there's so many times throughout the day where we're having to reset a million times a day because our flesh gets the best of us. When we start our day with Jesus, he allows us to reset. And then make your bed. I know it sounds silly, it sounds small, but it is one huge step to start off your day in the right like momentum to say I got something done. And so often, like we're dealing with grief, we're dealing with depression, we're dealing with super anxious feelings. We have relationships that are just in strife and turmoil, and everything in our brain wants to just pull the covers over our head and stay in bed. And if we make our bed, then we don't want to get back into it. It's kind of the point. Make your bed, stay out of bed, face the issues that are in front of you because us hiding from them, pulling the covers over our head, isn't going to accomplish anything throughout our day. Make your bed, wake up. You can go into your room and be like, I got one thing done. I
I
got
love
one thing
that.
done today.
I
All
also
right.
think of the word disciple, like I think of like Jesus made disciples out of us. And I think of the
Yeah.
word discipline and disciple because it takes discipline. And part of running our home, part of walking with him does take discipline. And so
Yes.
I mean, and I'm not saying I love what you said. You spend your time with God, spend your time with Jesus at any point that you can, because I know everyone has different schedules. I also, like you, find that if I wake up, I have an agreement with in my personal walk with Jesus where I'm like, I don't want to open Instagram before I've talked to him.
Yeah.
Like I get up, I make my bed, I start coffee, I jump in the shower, and then I'll grab my Bible and just like work through the word. And a lot of people, maybe I've had people ask me like, well, I don't know where to start. Just pray about it. Pick a Bible. Start in the Gospels. Start in Matthew. If you don't know what to read, pick one book. I just recommend starting in Proverbs or starting in Matthew and read one chapter or half a chapter and ask God to help you understand it. So yeah, I just wanted to come in agreement with that. Love that.
Yeah. Love that.
All right. My points were in different order than yours. So was the next one that you had the water?
Yep.
Okay. So point three was drinking enough water. That is so
I set
important.
them out of order because I had this list and I couldn't find this list the right time. So I
Okay.
totally said them out of order. So I should have just said the different steps, like maybe even at the end, we cut that whole blurb and we go through and we read through what the steps are again in the right order.
I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine of how you read them. It's perfect, and we could just go through them in whatever order. But I have water next.
Yep, I have it next on this sheet too.
Hydration, it is the foundation for energy, recovery, and focus. And I think
Yeah,
that most of us walk around dehydrated. A lot of times we're like, oh, I'm hungry. I need to grab a snack. Really, we're just dehydrated. Like,
yep.
ask yourself if you're drinking enough water. I found, I mean, I spent 20 years in Arizona and I actually just used to have a gallon water jug with me and I would just try to drink 1 gallon a day.
And that's key. Like they say, I have some notes in there for it. Like if you are not that active of a person, then like the bare minimum amount of quality water that you should be drinking is your body weight cut in half in ounces.
Yeah.
And then if you're a super active person, like Lara and I are getting super sweaty rolling in,
Yes.
doing all the time, you want to be doing your body weight in ounces. So 126 ounces is a gallon of water. It's so easy, you guys. It really is. If you're not used to drinking water, it might sound daunting. You might be like, oh my gosh. When I first started 75 hard and I had to drink a gallon of water, I was like, you have to be kidding me.
Mhm.
I didn't, it was like two 16-ounce cups is what I'd probably do in a day. But the difference it makes and how my skin looks, how I feel, the clarity of my mind, like the buzzing in your ears, the stupid
Even
stuff that
sleep.
happens.
I
Yeah.
notice I sleep. I notice if I picked this up like a couple years ago. I noticed that if I wasn't sleeping well, it was always connected to when I was dehydrated. And so
Hmm.
don't chug all your water right before bed. Sip it throughout the day, like
Yeah.
drink throughout the day. The next thing we had was fuel your body, and we're gonna do, you guys prepare if you're joining our group and our reset and our school group and gonna follow us on YouTube, which please do right now if you think about it, hit the subscribe button and give us a follow. Um, we are really passionate about nutrition and fueling your body and how we kind of have different ideas than maybe what is traditionally put out in the food pyramid. And we are not registered dietitians or doctors, so we're not going to prescribe a diet. We'll share our experience, but part of this reset is eating to fuel your body, meaning we're not eating because something just tastes good. We're eating because food is fuel to get us through the day, to help us focus. And you, Tiffany, have really helped me even understand about protein, if you want to talk about that.
Protein is so, so important. Like, if there's one thing that you want to focus on in changing your diet, as women, we suck at getting enough protein. Like, oh my gosh, it's hard. It is really, really hard. You have to be so intentional to get protein. But reasons why it builds lean body mass. When you build lean body mass, you're going to burn fat. Okay. So your BMI, your body fat percentage, pretty much, do you know what that is? It literally is just your body fat. Like, people talk about metabolism. Okay. They're like, oh, you have a high metabolism. No, the only thing that creates a high metabolism is lean body mass. That's it. That's what a metabolism is. So you'll never have a fit person with a slow metabolism. You want to know why? They have built lean body mass. You will have overweight people that have too much body fat. Want to know why? Because they have a slow metabolism because they don't have enough lean body mass. Like, that is all your metabolism is lean body mass. So if you think about that and we're like, oh, it's, genetic, it's whatever, you gotta just get our excuses, get our things out of our head, and we need to fuel our bodies. So protein, what that means is ideally what your goal is, anybody who is really fit, really active, they understand you need your ideal body weight. Okay. I'm not going for my after Christmas body weight. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your ideal body weight in ounces in protein a day. You guys, that's a lot. But for women, what I really want to encourage you to do is I want your target to be 100 grams of protein a day. And if you're going to do that all dietary, we're talking an egg has 6 grams of protein. So how many women do you know will get up, they'll scramble like one or two eggs and have a piece of toast, and they're like, oh, I started my day off with some good protein and stuff. And you're like, dude, that was 12 grams of protein.
Hmm.
Like, that is not enough to fuel your body. It just really isn't. So aim for, if you're going to be eating 3 times a day, you're talking, you need like 35 grams of protein in each meal. If you're going to be eating 4 times a day, you want 25 grams of protein in each meal. So what does that mean? Protein first. Always protein first, and then build the rest of your meal around that. Um, I want Laura to talk about how much we believe in greens. Okay. I want to open up Pandora's box for just like a half
Okay.
second.
So, well, and I want to say something about the protein really quick too. We will, in our group, when you join us in school, again, it's free to do this reset with us, and we will provide some downloads too of just like what does protein look like. A lot of people, myself included, I don't have a scale to weigh how many grams I'm getting, but you can visualize, you can say like, a piece of chicken the size of your fist is typically X amount of grams protein. So I love your tip of like start a meal with the basis being protein and build the rest around that. As far as greens, I actually quit eating vegetables about a year ago and I've never
Yeah,
felt better. Let me
yeah,
just caveat, I'm not on carnivore. I uh, I really love a guy, a doctor. You can look him up online, Paul Saladino. He's not sponsored. We're not sponsored by him or connected to him. It's just somebody I like. He really opened my eyes about how a lot of leafy green vegetables, spinach, kale, broccoli, not green, but in that cruciferous family, with cauliflower, a lot of vegetables, they're plants. They are full of defense chemicals.
yeah.
Those defense chemicals are making you bloated. They are making you sick. It's really, to me, I almost think, and I know a lot of people might be like, you guys are crazy. Again, you think what you will, but in my experience, my skin feels better, I sleep better, my stomach is flatter, I have more energy, I built more muscle mass. I eat a lot of root vegetables. I
Yep.
get starchy vegetables. I eat a lot of squash. Anything that's a fruit, anything that has seeds is a fruit. That
Yep.
includes butternut squash. That includes zucchini squash. Like I still get what would be considered a vegetable, but there's a lot of greens I don't eat. And one thing I want to say too that I found interesting was I know so many people that are our age. Tiffany and I are 40 and above. We'll just leave it at that. And a lot of people that are our age that do green shakes every day, green juice, that have had kidney stones and that have had a lot of health problems because of
Yep.
those oxalates and those defense chemicals that are found in these plants.
Yep. My husband and I did keto for a long time, which I love keto, but I did keto, so it screwed me up. I actually ended up in the hospital a couple times.
Oh,
And
wow.
I have like IBS, I have GERD, I have like massive indigestion reflex issues, and it is completely controlled by my diet. I used to eat a lot of cauliflower rice,
Same.
tons of it, right? And I found I cannot do broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. A lot of spinaches and kale really screw me up. Like any of those rich greens, they will tear my stomach up. And I was in the best shape of my life. Don't get me wrong. I was doing like the Live Hard program by Andy Frisella. Um, I was eating really clean. I love keto. I love the idea of, I mean, fats and proteins. It's perfect. But there's things that you can do that can really screw up your hormones, for
Yeah.
one. For two, you can really screw up your stomach. And so do it right. And so I really like the idea of an animal-based diet. You know, an animal-based diet is incredible. Those good healthy fats, they are actually finding now, you know, Laura and I, we grew up in the age where it was like fat-free, sugar-free. It was the
Yeah.
way to be. Fat-free, sugar-free, and we get our skinny lattes, and you know, everything was fat-free and sugar-free. You guys, we have an epidemic in like my parents and our grandparents of Alzheimer's and dementia. Dude,
Hmm.
that is like linked straight to lack of fats.
Yeah.
It is insane. Like, and this whole, I'm gonna get a lot of haters here, but cholesterol. Like,
Hmm.
you have to have cholesterol, you guys. And you know, we need to get off of the sick care program, and we need to go back to what was healthy cholesterol 40 years ago. It was in the 300s. And nobody was
Wow. That's
on
incredible.
you know, cholesterol medication. People weren't having heart issues. It wasn't until we started to really deep dive into, hey, we need it down under 220. You know, if you question anything we're saying, just research it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe
We
anything that
hope
we're
you do. Question
yeah,
everything we're saying. That's part of being
yep,
a Grace and Grit woman. Question it,
yep,
research it, ask us questions because
yep.
we had to go through the same thing and we welcome it. We welcome your questions and your feedback because this is what we're so passionate about this.
Mm,
And actually, I want to roll into our next one just so we keep going. The next one is lift heavy. I mean, I like to say in jujitsu, not, and I recognize not everyone in our program is going to also do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but I feel like I tell people, to me, rolling jujitsu is like doing weightlifting and cardio at the same time because we
yep.
are constantly lifting and hip bumping and using our core to help us hip escape. And there's so much strength and cardio in there. And so something that I've learned is like lifting heavy. Um, that actually, especially post 40, as you were saying, is like having strong legs and a lower body, especially for us women over 40, helps keep our hormones balanced, helps keep our metabolism going. So don't be afraid. Part of being gritty is like do something that you're not familiar with. Now, I'm not saying if you've never lifted before, go out and try to lift a whole lot. Like start small and push yourself forward. I was telling Tiffany earlier, like I also have become passionate about calisthenics, like lifting my own body weight. And like my goal is to do a muscle up, or my goal is to be able to like hold myself in a plank with my feet off the ground, right? So like lift heavy,
Yes.
challenge yourself. This is the time to do that in this reset is like see what you're made of. That's the grit part of this.
And I want to debunk something really fast. My husband and I actually met in the gym. He was a personal trainer. People talk about all the time how I'm married to the man with the body of a Greek god because he's got a he's got a beautiful
He really
body.
does. I know him personally. He really does.
And it,
He's the nicest person.
oh gosh, but he was a personal trainer and he's so passionate about nutrition. You'll never meet a person in your life that's more disciplined than my husband. I'll take that to the grave. But like he has been working out. When I say consistently, I'm saying 5 to 6 days a week, eating strict diet for you guys, it's been almost 20 years. Okay. It is incredible what he's done. But people are like, oh, I can't lift heavy because I'm going to look muscular and look like a man. No, you freaking won't. Like, no, you
You're not a
won't.
man. You're
No,
not a
you
man.
won't. You are not a man. Do you know how, like, it's so frustrating. Women are like, oh, I don't want to look like a man. Girl, please, do you know what the sexiest thing ever is a beautiful back on a woman? I'm
Do you know that's
sorry.
where my husband fell in love with me when he first met me and he goes, I had a backless outfit on and he said, you have the most beautiful back.
It's sexy as heck, dude. And do you know what? You don't get a beautiful back by not lifting heavy weights. You
Yeah.
don't. There's
Oh,
things that yoga will not do for you. Okay.
you are just inspiring me so much because this is part of why we created Grace and Grit. We're like, we probably are going to go against the norms of what a lot of people are used to hearing and
Yep.
talking about. Running, stop. Stop running, please.
Uh,
Just stop. It's actually proven over 40, do your own research, but it is proven that excessive cardio and running actually damages your heart, damages your muscles, it damages our hormones, especially again over 40. We also
amen.
have to do things that lower our cortisol. So that is like lifting heavy, that is walking, which
Mhm.
leads me into our next one, get outside at least
Do
20
it.
minutes a day.
Do
Whether
it.
that's sitting on your porch, getting in the Word with Jesus, or gardening and working on, growing your own herbs or whatever you want, or tending to your animals, or just walking. I make myself walk 10,000 steps a day outside. That's like to me, my getting outside time. I'm fortunate. I live by the beach. I can drive or ride my bike 10 minutes and I'm at the beach. And I can just walk and breathe fresh air and get sunshine. Another myth that we have been told is that sun is bad, sun is going to harm us, that we need to like cover up completely. We need the vitamin D from the
Yeah.
sun. We need to get outside and get some fresh air.
And that happens because of our diet. So, I mean, yeah, skin cancer happens. You want to know why, you guys? It's because of our diet. And so, I mean, that's a whole nother deep dive. But what we recommend with lifting heavy is 4 days a week. I'm just going to say it. 4 days a week, you need to lift heavy weights. And then, like on your off days that you're not lifting, take that as a great opportunity to just go and walk longer. You
Yeah.
know, maybe you're going to go walk for 50 minutes instead of just 20 or something. Just getting outside. I've had days where I'm like, I'm either gonna cry or I'm gonna kill someone. And really, I think everybody, like, I'm
Yes.
either gonna cry or I'm gonna kill someone. And I've gone out and I will jog once in a while. I have been having to push myself for my cardio side of things for jujitsu. And so, I'm gonna be doing like the air bike and things like that. But I have intervals, like interval training for
Yes.
cardio is fabulous. Just where you push, and then slow down. And so even if that means like speed walking, if you really are missing like that huge endorphin rush, and I went and I ended up running longer than I normally ever do. And we're talking like a mile, y'all.
Mm.
But I felt amazing. And all of a sudden my family could live again. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just what that does for your brain and your well-being. And people
Yes.
talk about, I'm gonna detour for a sec, but like self-care and self-love. Like, let's just stop. This isn't about self. Like everything that Laura and I are going to be talking about is about service to others. But in order to do that, we have to take good care of ourselves.
Yes.
Just
Oh my gosh.
take care of yourself.
Yes, please follow our channel because we obviously have so many things. I feel like we could make separate videos on every single one of these bullet points.
Mhm.
We thought of them for a reason.
Yep.
And self-care, self-love, that's something that is overused. It's a word that we're like self, 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 self. And I love what you just said. Actually, it's service.
Yep.
And I think of Jesus. We were talking about this the other day. Jesus was the ultimate servant and he was God, right? And so it's like he showed us how to be the ultimate servant. And
Yeah.
when you are serving, even Jesus as our example, he many times in the Bible, it says he went and took time for himself to meditate, to pray, to take a nap, and so taking care of ourself for service is a beautiful way to keep ourselves because to keep ourselves calm and sane. When we are calm and peaceful, our family is calm and peaceful. Getting outside, again, if you don't want to walk and that's not, if you don't want to go, sit outside and read a book, sit outside and just absorb the sun and close your eyes for a minute.
Yep.
So, yeah, so those all kind of to me flow in together, like lift
Yep.
heavy, get outside, and that kind of flows into the next one on our list. Get 10,000 steps a day. Again, you don't have to do that all in one shot. For me, find that about 7,000 steps is about 3 miles, 3.5 miles. So every day I work from home. That's part of my discipline. I set an alarm. I go for my walk and get fresh air. I look at the green stuff. I look at the flowers. I use it as time to pray, but I track my steps and I'll make sure I get another 3,000 steps in after that. So it doesn't have to all be in one shot.
Yep.
But you don't even have to have a Fitbit. None of this has to cost money. I have the little tracker on my iPhone and I just keep my phone in my pocket and it tracks my steps all day, whether I'm cleaning or running errands. And then I typically am over 10,000 steps a day. But
Yep.
get your steps in every day. Walking actually lowers our cortisol. Again, super great we don't want this abundance of cortisol. That's what keeps our bellies fat. That's what messes up our hormones. That's what throws our periods off. That's what helps us not sleep at night. Having really elevated cortisol. Walking is an amazing way to actually just calm ourselves and it's actually really good for you. It's good for your heart, it's good for your lungs. So get out and get your 10,000 steps. Movement matters. Um,
Really
I
true.
Our next one, I love how you talk about this of decluttering, which and then leading into kind of like resetting your home daily are the last two. So
So I've had some feedback from some friends of mine about different things that they really love for us to dive into. And I'm just going to be so transparent, you guys. That's one thing you're going to get from Laura and I all the time. Is transparent. You're going to get the good, the bad, and the really, really ugly. And I
we
promise
got it
you,
all.
you'll get it all. Because neither one of us are very good with this thing called a filter, and you just get what you get. Like,
Hmm.
I'm a homeschool mom, right? I work from home. Like, good Lord, if you see me a total hot mess, dude, it's grace and grit. Give me grace. But the decluttering part, this is a mission I've been on. I have lived my life just a hot mess. Like I said, I'm like an undiagnosed 40-year-old. I'm a hot mess, y'all, and I take it. Like that is just it's who I am. But the chaos that comes in my home when I allow these things to go, like I just got done doing a huge reset. I threw my back out, then all of us got sick. Then it was Christmas, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So I've spent the last week just like, no, it's go time. Work is slow right now. My kids aren't doing school, and I've been resetting. But I need to just emphasize that this is doable. Like if I can do this with my husband's a firefighter. He works at two different stations. He works a lot. I work a lot and I'm homeschooling all the time. And I have kids that are their mama's children. They are hot messes too. Okay. We are learning together. My kids and I are on this journey together. So to declutter an area, 5 days. And I said to Laura first, I was like, declutter 5 minutes. How do we eat an elephant? But really, it's how do we climb a mountain? And I've had Mount Fold Me more times in my life than I want to admit to, right? And we all know what Mount Fold Me is. It's that 16 loads of laundry that you haven't gotten to because completing a project because you've taken it out and now it's sitting there because you don't want to fold it because you also don't want to put it away. So it just sits in the pile and you no longer have a bed or a floor or a couch.
Or you do what I do and you just keep rewashing it. You're like, I'll just throw it back in the hamper so I can double wash it.
I've so been
I don't
guilty of
want
that.
to put it away again.
You want to put it away. Or let's be honest, like the dog or cat already laid on it, or the kids came and jumped all over it. So
Yes.
it's dirty again anyway. But we're going to declutter our home 5 minutes a day because it's just like climbing a mountain. It's one step at a time. And
I
if we're
love
going to actually declutter, we're talking about that junk drawer that you open and you can't open it all the way, you can't close it all the way, and you can't find anything. Spend 5 minutes and clean it out. Like set a timer. I actually just ordered more timers for my house because
it.
it changes everything. Okay. We're not just going to be about fitness. We're not just going to be about we're like, let's get our lives in order. What is that Proverbs 31 woman? She had her home in order.
Yeah.
And that's why these things are part of this challenge because it's not just about looking good. It's not just about feeling good. It's about being proud of the home that you live in and having peace in that home. And that when you and your husband come home from work, or your husband comes home from work, whatever the situation, or you wake up in the morning, you are happy. You are proud of the home that you
Yeah.
have prepared for your family.
And you're peaceful, right? I think
Yep.
for myself, as I actually have diagnosed ADHD, and it's
Mhm.
like, I know for me, I can become the queen of shoving everything in a drawer, like out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
And my house might look clean, but there's five drawers you can't open.
Yep.
And it's like, it's really changed my life to go, I'm going to organize my closet. If I'm not
Yep.
wearing this, I'm going to donate it to the Goodwill. I'm going to organize my cabinets. My cabin, that's actually the first thing I'm going to work on decluttering is my cabinets because for me
Mhm.
it's like those are the first things I just throw pans in there and then it's like I can never
Yep.
find what I want. So it is part of being a disciple, being
Yep.
disciplined. I love how you brought up Proverbs 31, which we will be going through a Bible study in our school group on Proverbs 31. What is a Proverbs 31 woman? Part of it is she keeps her home. And that actually kind of ties into our last step of the reset, which I would love for you to talk about, which is kind of resetting your home in general. So we have like the 5 minute daily declutter, which over time you're going to find less and less things to declutter the more if you stay consistent with it.
Yep.
Consistency is key. But let's talk for a minute about that, like resetting of your home.
So I just shameless plug, and these are all we're not affiliated with anybody yet, you guys. So don't think that anybody's paying us for anything. But I found a gal. Her name is Kat, and she is the Clutter Bug, and you can find her on YouTube. And she's 40-year-old ADHD mama who works from home, has kids, and
Cute
she's
name, the clutter
just
bug.
like,
I love that.
right, but she like diagnoses you with different things. And honestly, I plug her in my ears and I start to clean. And she has had so many incredible tips and tricks for me because I'm a piler. I'm the stacker,
Me
right?
too.
And
And
it's
then you just
like,
move them.
yep, and you just move your stacks. But even just having baskets there and how much clutter has disappeared in my home is insane. With
Mhm.
me just starting to implement a little bit at a time what she does. And I absolutely love it. I also really love the Fly Lady cleaning routines that you have and tailor it for yourself. So there's a lot of different things that you can use. I'm a checklist person. I love the dopamine kick I get from checking off boxes, right? It just like
I love
fuels my
that.
fire. So have checklists, but to reset your home looks like, okay, I like to do it right before I go to bed because I love to wake up to a clean home.
I'm the same.
Yes, I
I
love.
cannot wake up to a sink full of dishes.
Yeah, when you wake up to a sink full of dishes, so like to reset your home, one of the things is we do a load of laundry every day. And even if you're a single person, that's normally pretty easy because we have towels, we have sheets, we
Mhm.
have kitchen towels, I mean, I have a family of four that still lives at home now, and four of us do jujitsu 4 to 5 times a week
Right.
on top of everything else. And so, we do a little laundry every day, and I like to start that in the morning. So then I can have a chance for it to then dry, and then I can fold it and I can put it away throughout the day. Number two is empty the dishwasher and go to bed with an empty sink and a clean sink.
Mhm.
So I like to run my dishwasher at night when we go to bed after dinner. I've done all the dishes, I put it in. So in the morning, I wake up, I empty the dishwasher, and it just helps me be able to throughout the day, because I'll be honest, I have a family that doesn't realize that even though I have a clean or dirty side of the dishwasher, that they just can't quite put their dishes to the dishwasher yet. We're working on that. But as I walk into the kitchen, I can take those dirty dishes out of the sink and I can put them in there. And at night, I can just scrub my sink, start the dishwasher. I wake up and there's no dirty dishes. I make sure that my counters are cleaned off, that my blankets, because we're all like to cozy up in blankets, even though we live in Southern Arizona, cuddle up in blankets in the evening, and I make sure they're all folded. And any toys that are laying around or papers or anything like that, just the flat surfaces are cleared off and my home is reset. And that way I can wake up in the morning and I can then have the opportunity to spend time with Jesus, to have a peaceful mind, to my husband comes home in the morning, to be prepared for when my husband comes home. Because so often he comes home and things are just a hot mess. And then we just spend all day cleaning it and we don't get to spend quality time with him. And that's not my heart. So that really needs to change. So I've been very intentional about doing the things that I need to do to try to make that happen so that when he comes home, it can be like daddy time and that we can enjoy our time with him. So, it's definitely work in progress, but that is really, reset your home. Just get
I
it
want to
ready.
say something, a tip that I find for myself too is like, and this is really funny because there's going to be people who don't have kids or whose kids go to school. My kids, some people might think, well, you're without excuse. My kids are 28 and 22. They are grown up and moved out. I homeschooled, raised them. They are both wildland firefighters. Shout out to all wildland firefighters.
Hey,
But my husband and I have three dogs
hey.
and businesses that we run and jobs and lives and a schedule. And I like to go to jujitsu and work out. And sometimes the house can be the thing that starts to cause stress for both of us because just like you said, the piles. Something I have found that helps me too to reset. I love what you said. Reset your home before you go to bed. We do that. We get the dishes done and put away and dried. I get the water set up for the coffee for the next morning. Like I find because I work from home, if I can take every hour or so, I go, I need to get away from my computer screen. I'll do like 10 air squats and I'll mop the kitchen or
Yep.
I'll wipe down the bathroom or I'll spray a mirror because my husband works outside of the home. I like him to come home and be like, wow, the house smells good. Because it just feels peaceful.
Right.
Like you said, like it's when your house is organized, it just makes you feel better. And so,
What Kat from Clutterbug says is she was like, um, treat yourself like you're your best friend. She's
yeah,
like, you wouldn't set your best friend up to wake up in the morning and just be pissed. She's like, so don't do
yes,
it to yourself. She goes, so every evening you're giving yourself a gift. You're giving
that's
yourself to the
such
next day.
a good point. If you were going to house sit for somebody,
Hmm.
you would not leave their house a mess. You
Yep.
would put your dishes away. You would kind of want to leave no trace.
Yeah.
And so I think that's such like to us as we were creating this, we were like, we want to think of all the things that kind of we want to work on ourselves. So we're going to be doing this reset right along with you guys.
Yep.
We're going to provide the PDF in this YouTube. Sorry, no, we're going to provide the link to the school group in this YouTube, and then you can download the PDF from school.
Mhm.
And we're going to have support, ask your questions. What are you struggling with? What day are you on? How are you doing? And so now we're going to talk really quick, just kind of about the rules. I use that word loosely. But as you go through the steps, we encourage you to be consistent. So if you find, because this is building habits, and it really is true. I am a certified coach, and I've learned through teaching people techniques that it really, that whole like 21 days to a new habit actually is true. That's about how long it takes for a new neural pathway to form, 21 to 30 days. So we're trying to help you be consistent so you can build new habits that you'll take into the rest of the year. So do your best to do these every day and be accountable. Be accountable to us in the group. If you're struggling and you miss one, just be honest with yourself and start over.
Yep.
So if it takes you 60 days to complete 30 days straight, as long as you're being honest with yourself and being consistent, that's what's important to us. We want to help you come out of this feeling successful, feeling like you don't need the checklist anymore after a while because now these things are a habit and you're just doing them.
And
And
that's why this is a 45-day challenge because it takes 21 to 30 days for you to, get those new neural pathways to start to apply that. Now, those next like 15, 20 days, that is your opportunity to put your new habits into practice and to allow them to become part of your life. It took me like 132 days to complete 75 hard the first time I did it
I
because
love that so much.
I held myself so accountable and I was going to do it right. And Andy Frisella was like, don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. And I'm not going to cheat myself. And you shouldn't cheat yourself either. Like,
I have to bust myself that so Tiff, you were the one that said to me, like, don't cheat yourself. And I was like, well, it's Sunday though. Like, I like to maybe eat pizza on Sundays, or like, I don't want to work out on Sundays. And I really had to challenge myself to start over. But I'm
yep.
like, I'm not being honest if I don't, right? So take this reset, and this is your gift to yourself. Do this for yourself. Do it like for Jesus. Do it for your family. Do it for your relationship with God, for your relationship to your family, for the peace that you want to bring to your family and to yourself. And we hope you join us. Again, linking in the description of this video to our school group, the Grace and Grit Collective.
All right.
Find us on there. Sign up, download the PDF, and get started. And we will be posting in there every day, asking challenge questions, asking you to share your wins, post any questions that you have. And we are so excited. So please keep joining us. Also, hit subscribe on your YouTube. We will be posting a new video every Sunday with more content, digging into a lot of the things that we just talked about. So,
Yes. And
yay.
remember, all of these things are stackable.
Yes.
So do them how it works for you in your schedule. Just get them done. It's 7 days a week. This isn't 5 days a week, 7 days a week. Everything is stackable. Don't cheat yourself. No cheat meals. Drink your water. Do it. We're going to be intentional. We are going to be diligent. We are going to be disciplined, and we're going to come out of this new women.
Yes. And we'll be with you through the whole time. So sign
Yep.
up and we'll see you soon.
Yay!
Bye.